it's Absolute AJ here, and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a tier list for attackers. So before we start, let's just go through the different sections that I've got. So we've got S pick, the valuable pick on any site, map or round. Pretty much a solid pick whenever you take them. We've got A mostly valuable pick, so it's like S tier, apart from like there is quite a few sites that they're not so good at, but majority of the sites they are good at. Okay, next up, B tier is it depends on the site, map or other ops that your team's bringing to be strong. C is a situational pick or pocket strat that your team has. This means, for example, bringing a Maru for a certain type of rush. And last, we've got D tier, which I've labelled please try again later, which I think means operators that really don't need to be brought in rounds, but obviously some people still do. Okay, let's start. The first up, we've got Ying. I'm gonna say she is a situational or pocket strat operator, as I feel like you do have to have a sort of plan and a way you want to attack to use her. But when she is used, I'd say she is like a really valuable pick because he literally blinds everyone. If a good Ying player who doesn't blind the rest of their team can win the rounds for you. Next up, we've got Ace. I'm going to say he's a valuable pick because when is there a site that doesn't really need a wall breaching? He has 3 Selma charges, and as long as you can stop the bandit trick and get the mute jammer or whatever is on the wall, Ace pretty much guaranteed to open it because he can place 2 down at the same time, whereas like Thermite can't. Next up, we've got Thermite. I'm going to say he is a mostly valuable. I'm a big Thermite fan, but depends on the site, map and other ops to be strong. With Thermite, I do think you do need a Thatcher, or you at least need someone that can go below a nade, and therefore he's depending on other ops to be strong. However, the reason I am a Thermite fan is because he makes like huge breaches, whereas like, for example, Ace, you do have to vault through the breach most of the time, but Thermite, like, it's a straight running breach, easy as anything. Next up, Ayana. She's just going to be going straight into S tier. Valuable pick on any site, even though she's lost her gun 6. She has 2 nades. Her Gemini is basically a never-ending drone. She's great. Okay, Gridlock. People think Gridlock is for flank denial, which is just not right, because you're not going to hear someone destroying track stingers from half a map away, are you? Gridlock is more a operator that you want to use to like mask the sound of your push, and like, so like say border archives, you're attacking, you want to get a fast plant down, throw all your track stingers in, that sound is going to cover the sound of the plant going down, I can promise you that. Therefore I'm going to say she's a situational or pocket strat operator. Next up, we have Lion. Again, he's probably going to be a situational pocket strat operator. However, I am going to put him up to like a... depends on the site or map, like, or I'd say it depends on the site, map or push. If you're going to be doing a roam clear or a rush, then Lion is going to be the play. Book. I'm going to say Book is a, depending on site and map and other ops to be strong again. This is because he has gone 6, which is great, but he isn't as good as vert play as I'd say Sledge is, for example. But he's also better at vert play than anyone with breach charges. Next up, Zero. I'm going to say Zero depends on the site and map again. Really good on maps with huge flank areas for like, for example, Bank. It has 3 different sets of stairs up to top floor, and Villa the same, 3 different sets of stairs. You have one person dedicated to watching flanks across all the drones, then you're laughing, because then you don't have to have one person watch each set of stairs. Amaru is definitely a situational or pocket strat operator for me. I do love playing Amaru, I think it's really fun to rush, but I do think it depends highly on your team, because your team has to work with you. There's no point just rushing in a window yourself. Sledge, I'm going to put at a valuable pick mostly. Again, he's great, has 2 nades, really good at vert play and breaking down castle barricades, so you're laughing. He's always really going to be a solid pick. So to be fair, you could even argue that he's a valuable pick on any site map around. He even gets banned in Pro League sometimes, he's that good. Ash, I am actually low-key going to put her on Please Try Again later. Like she does have good guns, but if you're going to be playing the G36C, just bring Ayana. Or if you're playing her for the breaching rounds, just bring Sophia. There's always a different option for her that brings more than her. Perhaps maybe if they gave her 3 breaching rounds, then maybe that would be a slightly different story. And you could even move her up to like a, I'd say like a B tier, like some maps should be good. Sophia, I'm going to put her a mostly valuable pick. She can bring claymores if you're going to be playing on windows, and then she also has her 2 stuns and 2 impacts. Or she can bring breach charges and she can help Sledge with the vert play, as she still has 3 breaching charges and 2 impacts. That's a lot of open ground. She also has a really good gun. Her AR is back, baby. Even with the suppressor, it's still great. Blackbeard, I've been playing a lot of Blackbeard recently. A little sweat like that. I actually watched I think it was a short or maybe a video from Pox on Locks, and he said that you shouldn't be playing Blackbeard to sit on a window, you will just get domed, which is true. He said you should play him as an entry, push into sights, as your shield is giving you a second life nearly. So I am gonna put him, I don't know, I'll put him on a situational pocket strat. Okay, I guess it depends, do you need to be bringing Sophia with the impact grenades, because he's never going to be as good as an entry as Sophia or Ayana or Sledge, you know? It sort of depends, like he brings EMPs, so if you need someone with them, there you go, but there's always a better entry than him. Next up, Blitz. Now if you know how to play Blitz, he definitely can be an S tier pick. But from my ranked games, I don't think so. So I am gonna put him actually in situational pocket strat again. He's very good at pushing Oregon basement, for example, but again, you need to be able to actually play him. It's not about just running at people with shields, it's about being able to tactically flash people and kill them. Capitao is definitely slept on, I think. Capitao's definitely going to be going in, depends on site or map. He brings 2 smokes and 2 fires. If you're going to be going for like a sort of rush play, or you need to deny area fast, then smoking 2 angles and then firing them means that they're definitely not going to be able to deny your plant or whatever your push is. He's got 2 guns. I believe his para is actually a 2-shot kill to most operators, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, I think he fits in B tier quite well. Next up, Dokubi. Now I play a lot of rank with the Koi boys, and they always ban Dokubi in ranked, even though I really enjoy playing her, even though I'm kind of really bad with her guns. But she is such a good operator. She can deny dead people from seeing cams on your pushes. She's great at roam clear because you can hear all of them. Obviously she's really countered by mute, which I guess makes your calls pretty redundant if you're using them for a site push and they have mute, but on the roam clear you're not really going to have mute jammers dotted about the map. So I'm actually going to put her on a mostly valuable pick. I would suggest her in most lineups for an oppressive pick if you are going for a roam clear. Now Finca I would have actually put an S tier if her LMG hadn't been nerfed to the ground, but all LMGs have been nerfed now, haven't they? So Finca now, she's not as great. You don't really use her LMG, it's all about the spear, and even then there is a lot better guns than the spear out there. I don't don't really know where to put her. I guess she's gonna have to be a situational pocket strat sort of thing. But like, even then, like, more important operators to bring, right? Okay, Fuse is definitely one of my favorite situational operators. I love taking Fuse on a basement clubhouse attack because it makes it really easy to get the hatch open. You just use the ground and then they can't impact below, and you use your can openers to open the hatch. But he is situational. There's not always an opportunity to put your Fuse charge down. It's really great at getting rid of your utility, but you've actually got to get the charge there first. Glaz, again, he's pocket strat situational. Been seeing increasing play in Pro League. Mainly in your rush situations where you're smoking off angles, like we said with Capitao and Ying, and then he can hold them where others can't see through. But obviously in that case you then have to be scared of Warden. Hibana, definitely not as good as Ace. I wouldn't say as good as Thermite. I'm going to say it's in the same tier as Thermite, but I wouldn't hold her at the same respect as Thermite. Hibana is definitely dependent on site. You've got a lot of hatches to open, especially Clubhouse, we were just saying, then Hibana's gonna be your play because you can choose to put down as little or as many X-Kairos as you want, meaning that impact tricking becomes redundant essentially. IQ, I'm actually gonna put down in please try again later. She is just not good anymore, I don't think. She has a good gun, and well, she has good guns, but she just wastes too much time looking for cams and stuff that you could find when you're droning anywhere. The only real time you'd bring her would be if you were really struggling with a Valk pick on the other side, but even then Valk is banned a lot, so why are you bringing IQ? There's a lot more valuable operators that can go in that slot. Jackal, he's depends on site and map or other ops to be strong. Again, he's good at roam clear like Lion and Dirkby, but only Jackal can see the footprints, so he has to ping them, and even then they don't really last that long these days. Next up, Kali. Kali is situational in my opinion. Kali is really good, obviously, at getting rid of all your electricity on the walls, but you can just nade it. You've got Twitch. I think there's just better options than her. Much like IQ struggling with Valcam, if you're struggling with getting the electrification off the wall, then Kali can be a good pick. But if you're struggling to do that at that point, you probably aren't going to be winning your game. Maverick has become really redundant since he lost his nades, because he was the only like unique hard breacher that could half breach a wall and then nade through. I am gonna put him down in please try again later, because why are you bringing Maverick when you can just run an Ace or Thermite and then nade from below, or get a Twitch drone in, or a Flores drone, or anything you want. Okay, next up, Monty. I'm gonna put him in situation or pocket strat. This is because he is good at pushing sites with teamwork, but it's taking a gun away from your team, and I see it, I guess, in a lot of pro play where teams will bring a Monty and then they're lacking the firepower. Obviously, if you can play Monty well and push the other defenders out of their positions and capitalize on that and take more ground, then yes, play Monty, but he is situational. Thatcher, I am going to put a S tier regardless of whether you are wanting to breach a wall or you're just wanting to clear ADSs so you can nade. He's good at whatever you need him to do, but just for the love of God, please just don't throw your Thatchers for nothing. If there's nothing on the wall, why are you throwing a Thatcher? Knock, I'm going to say, is a mostly valuable pick. Really good at lurking because she can't be seen by the cameras, can she? She's also got a really good gun and great for your final backstab you need on your execution. To top that off, she also has 2 nades, great to lurk in from the basement of a map into the middle floor, say, and nade vertically onto the top floor site. Okay, Nomad I'm going to put on depends on site or map. This is because some maps you really don't need the nomad air jabs for flank, and like I said with Zero a lot earlier, he is good for one person watching the flanks. Obviously nomad does that for you, but they can shoot them out quite easily and get past. But yeah, I still think she can be strong depending on what map you're trying to run clear. Next we have Twitch. I am gonna actually say she is a mostly valuable operator to pick. If you can play Twitch right and not lose her Twitch drones all the time, then Twitch can be a god tier pick. As long as you're not rushing your Twitch drones into sight every round and you're actually clearing utility, like default cams are really important. Like it saves your teammate having to flick to the default cam when they could be watching angles, just stuff like that, especially clearing Goyo canisters, so it doesn't have to come down to you clearing them and then potentially losing health and wasting more of your time on your final push. It is really good for that.
So I actually realised the tier list doesn't have all the ops on. Sorry, so I'm in a different t-shirt. When I was recording this, I also forgot about Flores. I would put him probably a C tier, however, though. He is really good, but I think there's just so many counters to him. Like, you literally only have to shoot it, or mute jammers, mozzie pests. Woohoo.
Next up, Osa. I'm gonna put in a mostly valuable pick. She provides you with a shield that you can see through. Obviously the enemies can see through it too, but she's good at taking ground that you can't take without that shield in front of you. Whereas unlike Monty, you don't lose that firepower. Monty means you have a pistol. Also, you still have the gun. You just have to be careful with how you place your shield, because obviously they can shoot you in the side. Trust me, I know, I've died to it so much and I can never seem to kill them when they're doing it, but I'm mad. Next up we have Sense. I do think he is pretty, not gonna lie to you. Yes, you could argue he does go in situational, but I'm definitely putting him in please try again later. If you are wanting the light shields, just bring smokes. I get he can obviously block off line of sight better than 2 smokes can, but yeah, it's really hard to get his gadget. I don't even know what it's called because I don't play him. But to get his gadget to actually bounce in the right way, they're really clunky and not very accurate. Second to last, we have Grim. I'm not even going to say anything about Grim. He is just a letdown. He's going in please try again later. Are we surprised? New operator BRAVA that's just come to Rainbow Six Siege. I'm actually only going to put in a C tier. She is going to be dependent on what the defenders on the other team actually bring to the round. If they're not bringing utility she can hack, what's the point in bringing her? On sites like Bank with bottom floor basement, where you're likely to get smoked or you're likely to get T4'd when you're planting, then yes, she'll be a good pick there. But otherwise, it is just highly dependent on the other team, and you can never really say her value in a round until you've done that pre-droning. So she's going to be really good to actually re-pick to, never really bring in the first place type of thing. But that's it, guys. That is my tier list. Let me know in the comments what you think, what you agree with, what you disagree with. I'll see you in the next one.